Commissioner, Don Garber. Managing Partner and Owner, Henry Wynn. Okay, right now he's leading in applause. Executive Chairman and Owner, Peter Guber. President and Owner, Tom Penn. Take it over.
Well, good morning, everybody. These are the days that memories are made of. Today we are here in Los Angeles to announce a brand new strategy for what we in Major League Soccer hope to achieve in this city and, very importantly, throughout the entire state. MLS has very deep roots in Los Angeles. Most people don't know that our league was founded here in LA. The league office was based in Los Angeles. Alan Rothenberg, our founder, I think might be here today, was managing the World Cup in '94 and was given the remit to start a professional league. And he hired his first employee, a gentleman by the name of Mark Abbott, who's now our president and our deputy commissioner. Mark is here today and has been working so hard from our founding days. He was the first employee here in Los Angeles to help build Major League Soccer to what it is today. It's also a city very uniquely where I think a half a dozen of our owners live here in LA, and I'm going to list them for you. Many of them are here today. Andrew Houtman, the owner of the Chicago Fire. Welcome, Andrew. Lou Wolf and his son Keith is partnering with John Fisher, also California-based in the San Jose Earthquakes. I believe Lou might be here today. Joe Roth, a legendary Hollywood guy, owner of the Seattle Sounders. And of course, Phil Anschutz, who really is, he is the true pioneer along with Robert Kraft and Lamar Hunt. And AEG is represented here by a great MLS player and a member of the U.S. national team and now the president of the Galaxy, Chris Klein. So I want to welcome them all here today. You know, this has been a great year for soccer in our country and in Canada. We had a terrific World Cup where our national team just really captured the hearts and minds of our entire nation, broke ratings records, and really had our country stop, take a deep breath while we were playing Ghana, while we were trying to get out of this group of death and hopefully get further and further in the World Cup in Brazil. Now, I want to congratulate another LA resident, Jürgen, who lives here in town, for doing such a wonderful job with our team. This was the year that our became a true destination for some of the best players that this country has ever produced. Stars of our national team, Michael Bradley, that's now in Toronto, Clint Dempsey in Seattle, and recently signed Jermaine Jones, who plays for New England. We broke an attendance record this year, attendance record over 19,000 fans a game, higher than any other time in our history. We had 129 sellouts. You think about that number of people. I mean, we play in 20-odd thousand seat stadiums. We're selling out a great number of our games. I think that when Alan and Mark launched this league with Phil and Robert and Lamar, that we'd be selling out games and averaging 19,000 fans a game in our 19th season. It's just not something we would have conceived of. Importantly, and this is a part of what we're building on here in LA and Southern California, we have built a soccer culture in our country. People care about the game. Millennials have grown up with the game. They love it. They now are growing into being influencers in the media, potentially as owners, and are in positions where they can help grow the game. That's what's driving the emergence of our sport. That's what's driving the power and passion of the sport. That's why our best days are still ahead of us. Remarkably, we'll celebrate our 20th season. Next year will be our 20th season. We'll launch a wide variety of initiatives behind that. We have another round of expansion happening next year where New York City and Orlando join our league. Kaká has signed with Orlando. David Villa, great Spanish legend, has signed with New York City along with Frank Lampard. We'll have another couple of rounds of expansion in the years ahead. We've had a unique formula. That formula has been very specific. We need to have great owners that believe in this sport, that believe in our country, that believe in this vision that America can be a soccer nation. We combine that with a market that loves the game. We add to that formula a strategy and a commitment for a soccer-specific stadium, or a stadium that's built specifically for the sport and that can house our players and be a great home for our fans. That's the formula that we have here with this great ownership group. The story behind this announcement started with us trying to put together those pillars. And it started about a year ago when I met Henry at one of Tom Penn's sports leadership conferences. And Henry pulled me aside and said, hey, you know, I really am intrigued by your league. I'm involved in professional sports. I'm trying to figure out how I can get involved in the American game. Let's sit down and talk. We very quickly had that conversation, and very soon after that, I met Peter. Henry is one of those guys that represents what's great about our country. Here's a man that came here with his family right after the Vietnam War and went through and lived through some real challenges. And his family now we have 4 kids. All of them are doctors. Henry's an MD, the only sports team owner that is a MD. Henry went to school in Harvard and then got a joint MBA and medical degree at 2 terrific institutions. Peter needs no introduction. Peter is one, and I think everybody knows him for his ownership of the Warriors and his ownership position in the Dodgers and obviously his legendary history in the movie business. But all of us in the sports industry know him because he founded many, many years ago an entity called Mandalay Sports and Entertainment, rolling up minor league baseball teams. And some of the best practices in our business come out of the textbook that Peter and his partners wrote, teaching us how to sell tickets, how to manage relationships with clubs, how to embed in the community. And to have Peter add his roots in the community and add his knowledge base to a terrific partnership is something that we're really excited about. Henry's ownership group is rounded out by 2 of his partners in the ASEAN Basketball League in Southeast Asia, Vincent Tam, who owns a team in England, and Ruben Montalgan, who also owns a team in the Premier League or is a partner in the Premier League. Those folks will represent our international contingent, though Henry is going to move here to the United States. And their last partner is Tom Penn. Tom also has a great story for all of us in the industry, a guy that worked as a general manager in the NBA, became somebody very well known as an on-air personality at ESPN. Tom will be the president of the club. And when you wire together Henry and his partners over in Asia, Peter and his roots here in this community, and they'll talk about all the other excited local members and Tom's experience, this is a money group. This is a group that will help us achieve our strategy, will help us to have a very, very strong rival for the LA Galaxy and hopefully replicate what we have in Seattle, in Vancouver, and in Portland to create a cup format that hopefully will live on and drive tremendous passion. So this is the moment that we have all been waiting for. If I can have a couple of scarves here. It's my pleasure to bring up Henry Nguyen to officially launch LAFC.
Awesome.
Okay, let me get another. And his partner here in Los Angeles, Peter Guber. Thank you.
Great job, Peter.
And the man who will make it happen on the ground, Tom Penn.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh. The ball. Get right in the middle of you guys here. Tom?
This is the only team I'm the tallest person on.
I don't know about that. That's about to change very soon, right? Okay, folks, again, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
You got the next one.
Henry, you're up.
Oh, wow. What a day. You know, the journey to get to here, I can't even tell you where it starts. I guess Don's right. You know, I was sitting right next to you like this at lunch and talking about soccer in the world and in America and obviously in the MLS and really how we felt there's such, you know, significant potential and how it's such an up-and-coming league. But for me, maybe the journey even just started when I was a kid. Soccer was what ignited my passion in sports. My first live sporting event was an old NASL game, the Diplomats versus the Rowdies at RFK, and that turned me into a huge soccer fan. I mean, I'd wake up Sunday mornings watching Soccer Made in Germany on PBS, learning about the Bundesliga, hearing Franz Beckenbauer's name over and over and over. But for me, sports has been a huge part of my life as a fan, as an athlete, and even as a business. In recent years that I've been living and working in Vietnam, we've had a sports organization that this is how sort of I got looped into really the sports business globally, starting with a sports academy, a professional basketball team, and also creating and organizing the Collegiate Athletic Association in Vietnam. But all that just kind of whet my appetite for this. Obviously, my partners, Vincent and Ruben, they also are huge, huge fans of sport. Obviously, they've put their money where their fandom is with their teams in Cardiff City, and also Vincent has the team in FK Sarajevo. Ruben himself is a partner in Queen's Park Rangers, and they just know the power of soccer. Living abroad now all these years, I grew up an all-American suburban kid. I loved all sports, but when you're living abroad, you realize there's only one sport in the world, and they call it football. And that to me is part of this big opportunity. And of course, for us, it's I'm just a representative, and I get to be the mouthpiece of really an incredibly diverse, talented, smart, group of owners. You see two of my co-owners here. We've mentioned Vincent Rubin, but you're going to meet the others later. And I can tell you the type of track record and real sort of brain power, experience, and intellectual capital they have is just astounding. That gives me great confidence that we're going to be able to build a really terrific club. But beyond that, let me just start with Peter. I have to thank Don for bringing us together. It's funny, I've known Peter more than you knew I knew you, because I think we all do because of his movies. I grew up, I remember that relaunch of Batman with Michael Keaton. Rain Man, what can you say? One of the greatest movies of all time. Peter's accomplishments, I could probably take the whole rest of the press conference here going through it. I won't. But, obviously being in the movie and entertainment industry with Casablanca and Polygram, and also now obviously as chairman of Mandalay Entertainment Group, which, by the way, right, can I plug this, Peter? Got a premiere tonight, movie called Horns starring Daniel Radcliffe. I don't think he's playing Harry Potter anymore,
No,
right?
I hope not.
Okay.
Maybe I should hope so.
But obviously, too, Peter's sports chops. I think that's part of our connection too. When a fan meets a fan, you can connect instantly. So talking about the Dodgers, talking about the Warriors, which also home opener, right, Saturday night. And also, even just on that front, Peter is the consummate, just entrepreneur, always doing the next thing, including even the new AAA Oklahoma City Dodgers baseball team. But all I can tell you is just, the three of us in the last several months, just being able to intensively work together and really collectively bring together such a terrific ownership group has been such a fulfilling part of the experience up to this point. But as Peter has wanted to say, this is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. So, we look forward to all of your support. But why don't I hand it over to you, Peter?
Thanks. Thanks, Commish. It's interesting because you have the opportunity in your home market to talk to your constituents and think that you're in the emotional transportation business. You want to move them all to believe in your dream, give it a time limit, give it its urgency, and make it your goal. Our goal is to bring this incredible sport and location-based entertainment to the greater Los Angeles market. And what you need to really do is you need a team to do that. And we've assembled a team that's second to none. We were talking with Don outside. He said it's an impressive team. I mean, and all the people here, whether it's Magic, I've been partners with Magic in 5 different businesses over 20 years. Someone said to me, how'd you get Magic to be involved in this? I said, I asked him. And when you're successful with somebody, you want to have them with you. And that's the same with Alan Shapiro and Dick Clark and Chad Hurley from YouTube and Rick Welts, my partner in the Warriors, and on and on and on. You'll meet them all and all their backgrounds, but very diverse backgrounds. A real bouquet of individuals with intellectual, reputational, experiential capital that'll help form the team to get the team. Because as you said, this is the beginning. And to have those people, all of whom I personally know, all of I've seen the direction of their feet, their tongue, their heart, and their wallet going the same direction, are completely authentic. And that authenticity is what we have to bring to the marketplace. We have to get people to believe we're going to be there a couple of years from now, to believe that we're going to be competitive, to believe we're going to be fan engaged, to believe we're going to believe in the community. And I think we can do that. And I think the ownership out here that is not just investors, they're owners, partners, participants, not passengers in this dream, are going to make that possible. So I think we've turned me into we. By doing that, I think you can see the kind of support we'll have to accomplish it. And Tom, who's the president of the organization, will have the chore of wrangling all these cats to get their words, feet, and tongue working. So I leave it to you.
I am just so thrilled and honored to be here with these giants and these folks. Commissioner, to be a part of this sport in this city at this time is awesome. With where this sport is going, with what this market means, the greater Los Angeles market is the #1 market in the country for this sport in particular. There's just so much opportunity, and with a blank slate and with this group of partners, it's just a privilege and an honor and so exciting to be a part of it. I represent maybe this new wave in America. I'm kind of the new enlightened soccer fan. I've been in basketball lately, okay? But here's what happened to me. I lived in Portland, and I go to the Timbers game with my family. You talk about emotional transportation. For me, with my kids, when you hear the Timbers Army, 5,000 strong, singing in unison the whole game, and you see your kids just look at you with those eyes like this is unbelievable, that's when I go, wow, what is this sport becoming in America? So we have the chance to do that here at this time in this city, and so excited to do it. So now we just start to build. We'll build our brand. We'll build our bond with the fans. We're going to build a building with all the capital, thanks to our partners, to do so. We're just going to have to decide where. The one thing we don't have to build right now is the team that's going to build the team, because we got the core group together here and would love to introduce you to those folks.
All right. I need you fellas to stand. Heard about the other owners. Grab a Snickers. We're not going anywhere for a while. We tried to get Larry Bird. Thought that would be good. We went even better. We got Larry Berg, okay, a senior partner at one of the largest private equity giants, Apollo Global Management. He's also a co-owner of AS Roma. Can she kick it? Yes, she can. Mia Ham Garcia Parra.
Great. Hey.
World Cup champion twice, Olympic gold medalist twice, soccer mom, and she has scored more goals than anybody in this room and this room combined. Nomar Garcia Parra. Major League All-Star, Red Sox, A's, Dodgers, baseball analyst, and now sports entrepreneur as well. Chad Hurley. Now, if you've watched a video, it's uploaded to YouTube. Chad, the co-founder, former CEO of YouTube. He sold it to Google, and now he's spending all his money on soccer. From the time this press conference started till now, Magic Johnson has bought several more things. And we'll get to those afterwards. Magic Johnson. Yeah. Kirk Lacob is second in command as Assistant General Manager of Operations for the Golden State Warriors Basketball Club. Mark Leshley is the founder and managing director of Iconic Media Partners and managing partner of Row Capital Partners. Michael Mahan is the president of Dick Clark Productions, a partner of Mosaic Media Investment Partners, which oversees Time Life Business. I mean, all sounds like money. Erwin Rye is the co-chair of the sports practice of international law firm Foley and Lardner, and he's the guy who made the Dodgers deal with Major League Baseball. I feel better about myself just saying this. Tony Robbins. Bennett Rosenthal is the co-founder, senior partner, one of the largest capital management firms in the world, Eris Management. He's also co-head of a private equity group and co-owner of AS Roma. Paul Schaefer is the vice chairman and CEO of co-founder of Mandalay Entertainment Group. He's not here, but let's just cheer for him anyway. He'll feel better. Brandon Schneider, Group Vice President of Ticket Sales and Services, key executive leader for NBA's Golden State Warriors Basketball Club. Alan Shapiro, CEO of Dick Clark Productions. Anything Dick Clark, Alan's involved in. Jason Sugarman, founder, executive chairman, Wealth Assurance Holdings. Owner that, owner this, owner that. Partner in the Oklahoma City Dodgers, the LA Dodgers AAA franchise. Henry Sau is a leading entrepreneur in the field of technology and a member of the Golden State Warriors Basketball Club ownership group. Rick Welts, this guy's been a top executive in the NBA for a decade, and he also happens to be president and CEO of Golden State Warriors Basketball Club. There's a theme here.
Hey, Rick. So great to have you aboard.
That's the ownership group, and then if you'll check your ticket, one of you has got a lucky ticket. You're going to be invited to be part of the group too. Yeah, Photogs, you want a pic of this? Come on, get it now. This group won't be together all the time.
Okay, let's play ball. All right. Well done. Good.
Congrats. All right. If everybody could look in your gift bags, there's a nice pint in there. If I could, I'd like all of us in this room to raise a commemorative toast.
Where we go? I want to stay at the end. Don't open it until the thing, right?
You say it. Well, here it is. Let's raise a commemorative toast to the Los Angeles Football Club. Yeah, here we go. Here we
Don't
go.
open it till 2017. You're all there.
Cheers. Cheers. Salud. 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 Yeah.
All right, I need the primary owners to stay up here, the secondary owners to go back to your seats, and then we're going to do a little question and answer here.
Thank you.
You never want to stay up.
Yes.
There we go.
Can't see.
I'll take your beer.
They should stay. We're going to do all the press upstairs. Okay. What? Are we up here? We'll just do it. We should be magic and... What? Yes, right. We'll bring them up here. Sure. Yeah.
Take my seat.
Gotta give you one.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Can you bring up the
my
owners
scarf?
and stand here with us?
All right, we
Hey,
ready for a
Michael.
little Q&A?
Michael,
Okay.
Michael, get a scar.
First
He's the
question.
commissioner. He doesn't wear his tie.
Down here to the right.
Let's do this quick.
Hey, Kyle McCarthy, Fox Soccer. Gentlemen, you have 2 years to build this club. What do you envision to sort of put in place over the next couple of years, and where are you on the stadium search in Greater Los Angeles?
take that?
Okay.
Yep. Well, look, we're building from the ground up. So, the good news, as Tom stated, we have a wealth of experience and track record and talent in our ownership group. And that's going to serve as a really significant foundation for us. But we also just have to build our organization. We're obviously starting with all the off-the-pitch activities first. But really, paramount among those first tasks is the stadium. We need that home pitch. We have the resources, we have the experience, and we have the capital to do this. The important thing for us now is to reach out to really our constituency here in the greater Los Angeles market and really figure out where's the best place for us to be, to really serve our supporters, our stakeholders, and do this the right way. Really, that home, that stadium is going to be a critical part of really our early work.
Question? Right here.
Phil Collin, LA News Group. Commissioner, a couple of crossing the I's, dotting the T's. Do you know when the dispersal draft will be for the Chivas players, how that process is going to work?
Prior to December 1st.
Friday, December 1st. Okay. For the owners, is this group out here now to compete with the Galaxy or to compete with AEG? How do you envision that being the battle in LA with a two-team town?
You have to respect the people in the marketplace. Great respect to Phil and Dan. They built a wonderful enterprise, certainly a worthy adversary for anybody on the field. But off the field, the opportunity is not to be adversaries in the sense as a collaboration. Great adversaries on the field create great fan interest, great media interest, engages more people in the sport, engages more conversation and dialogue. Winning, you have to win the hearts and minds of your fans and create that dialogue. So we have respect for it. Every movie needs a hero and a villain. Every combination brings drama to it. We're in the drama business. That's part of the drama. Can we compete? Someone said to me, how are you ever going to compete as the second team in the marketplace? I said, well, maybe by becoming the first team. And, well, how do you do that? Well, maybe it's the Clippers. Maybe it's other teams that have done it. The idea is the marketplace is big enough and large enough for two competitors to live warmly, but combatively, if you will, inside the same market. So that's going to be our attitude, and that's going to be the way we bring everyone in with their aptitude. We want them to engage respectfully, but fight like heck on the field.
Kevin Baxter, LA Times. Peter, when we talked earlier, you talked about minor league baseball, and you guys have mentioned the experience in Portland and those things. I think one of the great things about MLS was always that it had the feel of an intimate sort of setting, even in a big stadium. Now with the league moving to these massive, well-funded ownership groups like New York FC and yours, is there going to be a struggle to keep that? Do you want to keep that?
I don't know how you don't keep that. Magic and I started, when I was at Sony, running Sony, we bought his theater business and built the theater business that he had very successfully, recognizing that the audience was key to being successful. And you build the audience from the bottom up. You don't do it from the top down. And then we did minor league baseball and built the most successful minor league baseball businesses in the United States. We sold a bunch of them this year for record prices. We built it and it was sold because it was successful, because the fans owned the team. We understood that relationship. Magic and I used to talk about it, it's theirs. Same with the Dodgers. When we talk to all the folks that are involved with us with the Dodgers, we understand that the audience, this has to be theirs. So the concept, the conceit behind all of this is you learn by being in that engagement business, by engaging location-based entertainment, by recognizing in an audience like this, you have to capture the hearts and minds of that audience from the moment they decide to be interested in your offering to the time they leave, get the ticket, drive all the way, sit all down, buy the food, go to the bathrooms. All those things are engagement. And you learn that when you deal with it on one-by-one basis. And you learn that well often in a earlier, more intimate setting like 6,000, 7,000, or 10,000 people at these minor league stadiums that have to come 80 days. This isn't like football, American football, where they come 8 times on occasional Sundays. They got to come a lot of times to your venue. So you have to be in their presence, and that's a challenge. And I think it's a challenge you can learn in all sports and all location-based entertainment.
I would add, I think the key in this sport is that supporter engagement and relationship. and that's scalable, as we see in Seattle. It's a giant American football stadium, but it has this incredible atmosphere and engagement. So for the long-term future, and particularly in this market, our folk is get the supporters to metabolize this, as Peter has said. And if we can do that right, we feel it's scalable for sure in this market for the future to be a real global franchise down the road. But the art and the science behind that can't be our work. That happens organically. We just sort of plant the garden and then they grow it. And so we want our fans to become LA originals. That's what they can come in as, the originals in LA, and see if they can start that momentum, and we're going to turn it over to them.
Question for Ricardo Lopez, La Opinión. Question for Henry. This is, of course, LA, very Latino city with a lot of Latinos. What is your approach to that community, and how do you plan to appeal to them?
Sure. You know, as I mentioned previously, you know, football proper is a global sport, you know, and obviously the heritage of the sport in, you know, Central American and South American countries is incredible. And obviously here in this market, you have such a large, well, first of all, it's just an incredibly diverse city. A big part of that diversity is the Hispanic and Spanish-speaking market. We want to be a football club that's inclusive. We want to bring all our fans together. We want that, you know, fan base to represent the wonderful diversity of Los Angeles. You know, I look at that as an incredible strength. Now, you know, in a place like Los Angeles that is just geographically so dispersed and also with such great numbers, you know, we have to then figure out what, you know, decisions and key decisions and compromises that we may have to make in choosing one location over another in terms of a stadium. You know, with such a diversity, there's no perfect answer, but we want to find the right answer. And that includes engaging really what is already such a passionate football base here in terms of the Hispanic market. So absolutely, it's part of our plan.
Let me just bring a point in here too. You know, the ownership group is not just here for the press conference, and you think about the expertise and experience that they have and how the league and how the club can capitalize on those experiences. So you have Chad Hurley, who obviously understands the technology business, and other investors who do. We have Magic, that's built massive businesses and can help guide a lot of our thinking as we deal with different markets. You have Tony, who understands the international market and certainly how to motivate people, and on and on. You also have Nomar and Mia. Mia, who, and by the way, Mia just joined the board of Roma. And they asked her to be on that board. Somebody who understands the game deeply. And Nomar, who, you know, is Mexican-American, has lived the dream here in our country, and is going to be part of this ownership group, providing it with the opportunity to have diversity of thought. So I think you've got to always think with the guys who are on the top of the pyramid, supported by lots of interesting and experienced people, and I think this could be one of those areas where we can get a lot of help.
All right, one more question. What we got? There.
Yeah, Greg Beecham with the Associated Press. One of the common themes today is everybody's excitement at joining MLS at such a key point in its history in a market like this. I mean, Henry, you make your living making smart investments. What do you see as the potential for soccer in the United States over the next 20, 30 years? What do you feel like you've bought into today with LA Football Club for the coming generations?
Well, look, I guess I can't say it enough, but really, soccer or football proper is a global game. And even in our market, you know, it's really just coming into its own when you're talking about the other major sports leagues. But that's the opportunity as I see it. You know, if you want to ask me from that business person's perspective, that's it. You know, we're coming in at a point in time where we're on a rocket ship. You know, the MLS, it's a terrific league, incredibly well managed, incredible ownership, and we're really proud to be a part of that now. And we really believe we can take, you know, the game of soccer in America to the levels where really the MLS, I see no reason why, even within a decade's time, it can be one of the top football leagues in the world. And I think that's what we're all buying into today. And that's what we want all of our fans and stakeholders here to come along with us, because I think it's going to be one heck of a ride.
All right, we know you got more questions, so on behalf of these four gentlemen, the ownership group out here, we want to invite you upstairs. We're going to continue the interviews up there. So Don't worry, you'll get your
Boys,
questions in.
that-